How good are the Bengals, Chris? How good are they?
Really? I mean, the best bit in sports, man, that they suck. The first quarter of the year or first third of the year, they stink the whole thing. I think this year it helped with Joe Burrow being hurt to like reinforce that, hey, we start slow. I felt like he went in the hole for a month and couldn't move. I mean, you were watching the games, you were like, sit this guy down. But they didn't move him around for like a month. I think he's been healing on the fly. The bye week helps. And I just thought yesterday, looking at it, was a great game plan. I thought they really used San Francisco's aggressiveness against him in the run game, traps, that sort of thing. And then I thought they protected pretty well. And as the down went on, and that's an issue for San Francisco in pass rush and that sort of thing, as the down goes on, if you've got to play a lot of soft zone against Joe Burrow, his eyes are so great. And they play that high-low game with the intermediate stuff. And then, as the down goes on, the linebackers are sitting there, and he one look to Joe Mixon in the flat, and he opens something up, and he's putting it behind your right ear. So he looks healthy. He's driving the ball outside the numbers, which is a thing early in the season. The deep outs, the big throws. I don't know if he could push off and make those throws. So I think Cincy looks like Cincy, and the joke's on us every year now.
And then the AFC is as wide open as it comes right now. You got 4 teams at 6-2. No one's running away with it. The Bengals are sitting there at 4-3. The AFC North is kind of a toss-up outside of Baltimore, it appears right now, in terms of consistency, until the Bengals show up like they did yesterday, right? I mean, that's
yeah.
The Bills are a bit of a shrug emoji still at 5-3. It's a wide open conference, or it's still the Chiefs? What do you got for me?
It is wide open. It's probably been wide open all year. I mean, if last week we did the whole, like, I can't believe we counted Kansas City out. Look what they did to the Chargers. I can't believe anybody would ever pick the Chargers in that division, hand up at different points over Staley's tenure. But I mean, like, week to week, a lot can change. Now, I don't panic over Kansas City. They left about 20 points on the field in a division game that is sometimes going to be tough, and you're missing Nick Bolton, and I thought that showed up in the run game, whether it's a muff punt or a drop in the end zone by Sky Moore or multiple turnovers in the plus territory. It's interesting when you look at the top of the AFC, it really comes down to home field advantage for me when it's this close. And, Kansas City has to be thinking about that. They're going to have to go to Germany, I think, this week, and play Miami.
Sir. I'm calling the game on Sunday, brother. I'll be in the booth.
By the way, I said this while you were gone. I'm gonna give you your flowers while you're here. I think you're as good as anybody in the booth. And it's like you just kind of waltz in and do it every once in a while.
Yeah.
You did a great job. I like watching those games in the mornings on Sunday, especially with you in there. So
appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And I think that's going to be a great game. A team that flies under the radar and continues to fly under the radar, because I think they win ugly sometimes, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. And if you look at the Jags stretch the rest of the season, they have maybe one of the easiest schedules out of these contending teams. I think, I think they play like 3 or 4 teams tops, like maybe 3 teams with
we'll pop that
winning
up
record.
We'll pop that up on the screen for you, because their next one is against San Francisco. Both teams coming on a bye, coming off of a bye. They're going on to one now, and then they come off and play one another. And Jacksonville is going to want to nail the Niners' pelt on that Duval wall, man. Like, that's the way they're playing really well right now.
They're playing really well. And the thing I was so impressed about with Jacksonville yesterday is winning that game the way they did. Now, some people look at it and they're like, they turned the ball over 3 times in plus territory, gold zone, red zone, like bad plays in that area. And Pittsburgh deserves credit, but you saw Kansas City. They couldn't overcome that at Denver yesterday. Right. And like, they're the class of the AFC and all that. I think that Jacksonville, you got to be very afraid of this team. To go to Pittsburgh, where Mike Tomlin's home dog record speaks for itself, fell victim to that yesterday. Neither here nor there. Fell victim to a lot of stuff, including the Bears plus 10 last night. Like, what the hell are we doing? But like, to go there and turn the ball over a bunch and not play perfect, and to still kind of have complete control of that game. Whenever Pittsburgh got within striking distance, they made a big play to pull away. I think it was so impressive. And I think, and Trayvon Walker came on yesterday and had a sack and that sort of thing. But I still think, and this isn't to say anything about their pass rush unit other than more the merrier. Like, Doug Peterson knows that from his tenure with the Eagles. We were 7 deep. they really don't have a lot of great rushers. To add one more before the deadline, to me, would be a no-brainer.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.